Hey guys, thank you for watching. This is my channel about houseplants and gardening in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It is zone 7 in a desert climate, which means we do have some hot temperatures and very little to no rain some growing seasons. We are most usually in a drought. Here in front of us I do have some plants that look like they are dead. They are not. A lot of tender plants go through this during the day here in the desert. Dahlias, I stopped growing them because they looked awful. They would look worse than this. They would literally lay over, and then once the sun would go down, they'd stand up till the morning, and then they'd do the same thing again the next day. So I really didn't want to do that whole thing. I do think it's worth it for produce. So this is my squash in my raised bed. We are suffering through a couple things here, so I do want to point those out to you. Now, some people do prune and stake their squash. I don't know if I'm going to stake it. I am going to prune it, that's for sure. I did it last year and it definitely does help. There are a couple advantages. One is it keeps the amount of water needed by the plant down, and it keeps it growing actively, so you get more blooms and more produce, which is nice. Another thing it actually helps do, which is heaven sent for me, is less foliage for the bugs to hide under and lay their eggs, squash bugs mainly. Now you don't want to go on pruning your brand new little squash plants because you can do some damage. You want to wait till at least 6 fruit have either set or have had their chance to. If they don't come out, well then, you know, that could always be a different issue. But once you have at least 6 fruit on your plant, then you can go ahead and start removing the lower leaves. Now, it doesn't matter where you clip on this. Once you clip on it, you are going to have some dieback, so try and leave a little bit of room before you get to the stalk. And you see how that's hollow there? Don't worry about it. All the branches that come up to the leaves, all the petioles like that, will be hollow. So, like I say, leave an inch or two before you get to the stalk down here on the plant, and that way you have a little bit of dry up room. I'm just going to do this one here real quick. You can see we did have a hailstorm too, so that's why some of these leaves look tattered and messed up. I was going to remove them after that, but I figured, hey, there's an option for a video. And I'm just going around the plant, taking off whatever dead, dying, or worthless foliage looks. Now you don't want to take more than half the plant because you could kill it. That to me, I would say take this one off, and that's probably pretty good there. Now it does still have some tattered leaves and it doesn't look the best yet, and who knows, it may never. But you can see here we do have a small soft fruit on here. This isn't going to turn into anything, so we may as well just remove it. Now see how it does have some scarring there? That was from pests. I have gotten fruit off of the neighboring one here, and I have something on the neighboring one that I want to show you as well. Now remember I told you guys about blossom end rot? This is a prime example. See how it blackened from the blossom end, where the blossom opens on the fruit, and it traveled down. There is also some scarring on here. I have been pretty diligent about coming out here every day and getting the squash bugs, but I did miss a couple days when we had some rain. I'm just going to do this one here too. Like I say, the main stalk on the squash plant is the one that is completely solid, so you don't want to cut through that. But any of these petioles, the stalks holding up the leaves, are fine to take off. You don't want to take them all because you can kill your plant. You want to give some to shade out your fruit as well. You don't want to get scorched or burnt fruit because there was no protection from the sun. You can hear it has a real cool pop sound when you clip them. Now some people won't do this, some people do. I started doing it a couple years ago because, like I say, I have really bad issues with squash bugs, and for me it was so much easier to check a plant with, you know, 10 leaves rather than 20, 30. So it does look bad. Like I say, these flop every day during the evening. Actually, the center has started to rebound there. You can see those look nice and rigid, or are getting there. But it will need a water. For the blossom end rot, I'm gonna come through and mix in some fertilizer. Here's another one where you can see that one didn't even have a chance. So with raised beds, since it is a contained area, there's another one, and you are depleting the soil on a regular basis, you either want to pull some of that soil out when you replant it. I did some chopped up leaf litter in here, which I usually do, and that usually does the job for me, but I don't think it was enough this year. I do have to add some fertilizer. I always use organics when I'm dealing with edibles. And make sure you stay on the water. Thank you for watching, and don't get discouraged. The heat is harsh on most plants, especially fruit producing or food producing plants. Thank you.